Welcome back to the channel, Coin Lovers. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating stories in American coin history, the 1-cent coin from the year 1982. At first glance, it may look like any ordinary Lincoln penny, but this small coin hides one of the biggest changes ever made in U.S. coinage. The year 1982 was a turning point, a year of transformation, and it produced some of the most interesting and valuable varieties that collectors still search for today. So sit back and watch till the end, because this 1982 penny might be worth much more than just 1 cent. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of an imaginary symbol. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side of the penny shows the famous portrait of President Lincoln. By 1982, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for more than 70 years. It still carried the same portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" on the left, and the year 1982 to the right. Below the date, you can find the mint mark that tells where the coin was made. The letter D represents Denver. No mint mark means Philadelphia, and the letter S stands for San Francisco, where proof coins were made. The reverse design of the 1982 penny still featured the Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at the center of the memorial, you can even see a tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside, making this coin unique because it shows the same person on both sides. But what truly makes 1982 special is that this was the year when the U.S. Mint made one of the biggest changes in the penny's history. For decades, pennies had been made mostly of copper, but by the early 1980s, the rising price of copper meant that each penny was costing more than 1 cent to produce. So in 1982, the mint decided to switch to a new composition made mostly of zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper to keep its traditional appearance. This change meant that for the first time in history, two types of Lincoln pennies were produced in the same year. The older version, made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighed 3.11 grams, while the new version made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating weighed only 2.5 grams. Because of this transition, both copper and zinc pennies were minted in 1982, and both types have several varieties. There are large date and small date designs, and they exist for both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In total, there are 7 main varieties of 1982 pennies, making this one of the most complex and collectible years in Lincoln cent history. Now let's talk about the part that everyone wants to know, the value. Most 1982 pennies found in everyday circulation are worth 1 cent. However, the value increases significantly depending on the metal composition, variety, condition, and possible errors. Copper pennies from 1982 are already worth more than their face value because of their metal content alone. A single copper 1982 cent contains almost 2 cents worth of copper, meaning it's already worth double face value in material alone. Uncirculated 1982 pennies, especially those in higher mint state grades, can sell for much more. A brilliant uncirculated example in mint state 65 grade can be worth between $1 and $5. While those in exceptional condition, graded mint state 67 or higher, can bring prices between $20 and $50 or even more at auction. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another valuable version. These coins are struck with extra care, creating a mirror-like surface and sharp details. Proof examples from 1982 can range in value from $3 to $20 depending on quality and grade. But where things get truly exciting is with error and transitional variety coins. One of the most famous and valuable is the 1982 small date copper penny from the Denver Mint. This coin is so rare that very few have ever been found. One sold for more than $10,000 at auction, proving that a simple penny can be worth an extraordinary amount if it has the right characteristics. Other error varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or wrong planchet errors, can also sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on the condition and rarity. That's why checking every 1982 penny carefully is always worth it. Now let's talk about the sheer volume and worth of the 1982 pennies in circulation. The U.S. Mint produced an enormous number of 1-cent coins in 1982. When you combine the totals from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the mintage surpassed 10 billion coins. That's billions of pennies minted and released across the United States. If you add up the face value of all those coins, it equals more than $100 million in circulation. That means that just for the year 1982 alone, there are over $100 million worth of pennies moving through the economy, sitting in jars, tucked into drawers, or hidden in collections. This shows how even the smallest denomination of money plays a massive role in the country's currency system. Every one of those tiny 1-cent coins together represents an enormous amount of real wealth. The 1-cent coin of 1982 is not just another penny. It marks a major change in American coinage history. It is the year when the U.S. Mint transitioned from copper to zinc, producing multiple varieties and some of the most exciting and valuable errors ever discovered. With over 10 billion coins minted and more than $100 million in total value circulating, the 1982 penny has left a huge mark on the numismatic world. Some of these coins are worth thousands of dollars, while others quietly rest in our pockets, unnoticed and unappreciated. So next time you see a 1982 penny, take a closer look. Check its date, test its weight, and study its details. You might just be holding a small piece of history, or even a coin worth a fortune. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and I'll see you in the next video.